Our first guest tonight is the third most powerful American in the world after Joe Biden and Taylor Swift. She is the 49th Vice President of the United States from right here in California. Please welcome Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris became the first female vice president of the United States under Joe Biden after her initial presidential campaign fell short.
My dear supporters, it is with deep regret, but also with deep gratitude, that I am suspending our campaign today.
Since her early days in politics, she has constantly made headlines.
I strongly believe, and the work of my office has proven it to be true, that when we're talking about serious and violent crime, lock them up. In San Francisco, in my office, we've increased the conviction rates for the DA's office to the highest they've been in just under 15 years.
But today, we're not focusing on her politics. Recently, while I was researching Kamala, I watched her appearance on the Drew Barrymore show.
You are a stepmother to Ella and Cole.
Yes.
Was Ella around 13
Yes.
when you came in? Cole 17-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I'll tell you, we kind of don't use the term step, because I just think, I love Disney. However, Disney kind of messed that up for a lot of us over the years. You know, the evil step parent. And their word for me is Mamala. And so they call me Mamala.
While she may genuinely care for them, it seems the deep emotional bond typically formed between a parent and a child raised from birth may be lacking. This observation led me to wonder, how would Kamala's personal beliefs, career choices, life decisions, and personality shape her approach if she had a biological child to raise from birth? So let's head down this alternative reality rabbit hole and explore what Kamala might be like as a biological mother. Kamala was born in 1964 in Oakland, California, to immigrant parents. Her mother, Shamala, an Indian Hindu cancer researcher, and her father, Donald, a Jamaican economist. After her parents' divorce, Kamala's mother moved the family to Canada, where Kamala spent much of her youth. Shamala's strong influence, rooted in Indian culture and Hindu traditions, deeply shaped Kamala's values, particularly in her commitment to education, resilience, and social justice. Kamala's connection with her father was more distant, a gap that widened over the years. This was highlighted when her father publicly criticized her after she went on the Breakfast Club podcast.
No.
Also, and I know the answer to this too, they say you oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
They be so mad at you.
Right. Yeah. No.
He strongly disapproved of her comments that he felt stereotyped Jamaicans. This strained relationship, contrasted with her close bond with her mother, played a significant role in shaping Kamala's identity. As she pursued higher education at Howard University and then law at the University of California, Hastings, these early influences would continue to guide her path. Before we dive deeper into this alternative reality of Kamala's life, I want to take a moment and thank you for joining me. For those that are new here, I'm Duran, a single father raising my 10-year-old daughter, Adina. Like any parent, I strive to do my best, and that means doing a lot of research, especially on parenting. Here, we explore the legacies of parents from the past to uncover what we can learn from them. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment and hit the bell to get notified when new videos drop. And if you haven't seen our first video on Donald Trump, be sure to check it out after this one. The link is in the description below. Now, let's get back to Kamala and explore the values and principles that might guide her as a mother. Kamala's career has been shaped by her commitment to what she perceives as justice, equality, and resilience, values that have evolved over time. However, she has shown a tendency to flip-flop on many of the principles she publicly endorses. For instance, her stance on criminal justice reform has shifted notably throughout her career.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system, that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
As California's Attorney General, she was known for her tough-on-crime approach, supporting policies that led to high incarceration rates, particularly among minority communities. However, as her political career advanced and she sought broader support, Harris began advocating for criminal justice reform, including efforts to reduce mass incarceration and promote rehabilitation. This evolution in her stance has raised questions about the consistency of her principles. Similarly, Kamala's identity has been fluid, often emphasized differently depending on her audience.
Today, on August 15th, 2020, I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala...
All right, say it loud.
Yes!
Okay. I just wanted the folks to hear.
And I'm Black and I'm proud. She said, say it loud.
Wait a minute, say that again. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud.
All right, now.
Throughout much of her career, she highlighted her Indian heritage, drawing on the cultural values instilled by her mother. However, as she entered the national stage, particularly during her current run for president, she has increasingly emphasized her Black identity, aligning herself with minority groups, especially within the African American community and its causes. This shift in racial identity has led to criticism that she selectively highlights aspects of her background to resonate with different groups, adding to the perception of inconsistency in her public persona.
And she ain't Black. You know,
I ain't got nothing to do with this, Miss Harris.
Nah, I mean, well, don't. But she's I don't know. I'm just listening.
Given these shifts on values and identity, one has to wonder, how would these evolving principles and identities influence her as a mother? Would she be able to provide consistent guidance to a child, or would these fluctuations create confusion? On the other hand, could this adaptability teach a child that life is fluid and that it's okay to change your beliefs as you grow? We'll explore this even further as we continue to delve into her life and career. Kamala spent much of her career in the public eye, constantly navigating the challenges of maintaining a consistent image under intense scrutiny. Her speaking style, often criticized as word salad, has led to confusion and criticism, particularly when her responses seem unclear or overly convoluted.
It's especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
This has been particularly noticeable during her vice presidency, where some of her statements have lacked clarity, raising questions about her communication skills. Additionally, Kamala's handling of key issues has sometimes appeared indecisive. For instance, during the 2019 Democratic primaries, she initially supported Medicare for all, but later seemed to waver, which led to criticism from those who viewed her as trying to please different factions.
I intend to co-sponsor the Medicaid for All bill. And because it's just the right thing to do.
I'm proud to co-sponsor it. It is about saying that this is about a right, not about a privilege for a few. You don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company. Let's eliminate all of that.
Medicare for All would effectively eliminate private insurance. It would essentially phase out private insurance companies
As the main source, but there would still be supplemental. There'd still be access to supplemental.
Okay.
It was in the context of saying, let's get rid of all the bureaucracy. Let's get all of the ways.
Oh, not the insurance companies.
No, that's not what I meant. I support Medicare for all. It is my preferred
As a
policy.
principle, you mean, not Bernie Sanders' bill.
I support the bill.
Okay.
I support the bill.
Because the bill gets rid of private insurance for everything that
It doesn't get rid of supplemental insurance.
Right, for cosmetic surgery, but for
So
all.
it doesn't get rid of all insurance.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? All right.
Do you believe that private insurance should be eliminated in this country?
No.
You don't?
No, I
But
do
you
not.
raised your hand last
But the
night.
question was, would you give up your private insurance for that option? And I said yes. My plan will separate your health care from your employer, meaning your employer will no longer dictate the kind of health care you receive. Under my plan of Medicare for All, private insurance companies will be able to provide coverage if they play by our rules.
This level of publicity and scrutiny raises some important questions. How would Kamala's public life and challenges of maintaining a consistent image impact her ability to offer stable guidance as a mother? Would her child face similar struggles with public perception, and how would Kamala handle those pressures? On the other hand, could her experience with navigating public challenges equip her child with valuable skills in resilience and adaptability? We're going to explore these dynamics even further as we continue to delve into her professional and personal life. Kamala's professional life is marked by ambition and a strong personal work ethic. From her early days as a prosecutor in San Francisco to becoming California's Attorney General and eventually the Vice President of the United States, her career has been driven by a relentless desire to succeed at any cost. However, Kamala's rise has not been without controversy. It's been well documented that her relationship with Willie Brown, a powerful California politician, played a key role in her early career advancement. Brown, who was married at the time, appointed Harris to 2 political positions during their relationship. This and other relationships have led to criticism that Kamala leveraged personal connections for career growth, raising questions about her ethics and the implications of such decisions. Balancing a demanding career with raising a child would be challenging for any single parent. But how might these personal choices influence her parenting? Would Kamala's child be exposed to values that prioritize ambition and career success over moral consistency? Or could her drive to succeed inspire a strong work ethic and determination in her child, teaching them the importance of perseverance in the face of challenges? These are crucial questions as we explore how her professional ambitions and personal decisions might intersect with her hypothetical role as a single mother. As we prepare to leave this rabbit hole, let's reflect on Kamala's life and consider what kind of mother she might be in our hypothetical scenario. In this alternative universe, we've imagined that Kamala became pregnant right after university and, despite her strong stance on abortion, decided to keep the baby and raise it as a single mother. With these assumptions in place, we can better explore how her life choices and experiences might inform her parenting style. Throughout this journey, we've examined Kamala's upbringing, her personal image, her values, and her professional ambitions. We've seen how these elements have shaped her into the figure she is today, and we speculated on how they might translate into her role as a mother. Our exploration has highlighted both the strengths and the challenges she might face in raising a child, particularly given the complexities of her personal and professional life. When reflecting on Kamala's life, several positives stand out. Her advocacy for social justice demonstrates a commitment to ensuring that everyone has equal opportunities, a value that is crucial in raising a child who understands fairness and responsibility. Kamala's ability to navigate complex political landscapes also highlights her strategic foresight and planning, qualities that could instill determination and ambition in a child. Moreover, her commitment to education underscores the importance of continuous learning. a principle that I strongly support in my own parenting. However, there are also significant challenges to consider. Kamala's shifting stances on important issues could create confusion for a child seeking stable moral guidance. Her controversial relationships, perceived by some as strategic for career advancement, might convey problematic messages about the ethics of personal and professional interactions. Additionally, the perceived lack of authenticity in her public persona raises concerns about how a child might develop a strong, sincere identity under her guidance. In the end, Kamala Harris presents us with a complex and multifaceted figure, blending both admirable qualities and concerning traits. While there are certainly aspects of her life that could positively influence a child, the inconsistencies and ethical questions we've discussed also highlight potential challenges in providing clear and consistent guidance as a parent. As I reflect on how to raise my own daughter, Adina, I recognize that there are positives to be learned from anyone's life. And while there are few from Kamala that I might consider, I would be very selective. If I were ever to remarry, I would be particularly wary of having someone with Kamala's history as a stepmother to my daughter. The well-being and moral development of my child would always come first, guiding me to be cautious in choosing which traits and values to instill in her. Throughout this journey, we've examined Kamala's upbringing, her public image, her values, and her professional ambitions. If you enjoyed today's journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos drop. Trust me, if you like this one, you're going to love what's coming next. And if you haven't seen my first video on Donald Trump, check it out by clicking the link on the screen or in the description down below. Here, on Legacies Unmasked, I'm exploring the lives of influential figures, one story at a time, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on who I should dive into next. Until we travel down the next rabbit hole together, remember, every family has a story, and each one offers lessons that can help us become better parents and individuals. Let's continue to learn from these legacies, one journey at a time.